One more applause for Tate Griffin. Let him know. Give him some love. Everybody. You got to set the fucking super tall and shit. I don't know what you did. All right, you guys ready for the next comedian? All right, this gentleman has his parents here to support him. We need some extra special love. Can we do that? Can we do that? All right, let's have a big welcome for Sean Bishop.
See, Wolfie thinks it's really sentimental that my parents are here, but I'm just going to try and say fuck as many times as I can to piss off my mother. I know what you guys are thinking. I look exactly like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. If he was fat, white, had a beard, a shitty haircut, a fucked up face, and lived at home with his parents, you'd be right. I also look like a bus driver. But really, I'm unemployed. Good enough. There's a lot of sayings in the English language, but if there's one that I think everyone here needs to remember is, you can lead a horse to water, but you probably shouldn't fuck them. People use the expression to hit a nail right on top of the head a lot. I think we need to start checking these nails for CTE before they start beating their wives. I often ponder what's harder for a priest, baptizing a cat or making pussy wet. I've already lost them. It's good times, though. I went to college in Kaiser, West Virginia. Kaiser's located right in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains, and the town's down in the valley, and up on the hill there's a bunch of windmills. And we used to party up at the windmills. We'd be up there drinking, smoking, listening to music. And we'd always listen to bands like Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath. Not because any of us were into that music, but man, those windmills, they're big metal fans. Supportive parents, you see that? I drove an hour for this shit, guys. It's gonna suck. I cut off 3 of my toes a few years ago, in 2016, and I spent a week in the hospital and then a month bedridden, and after that month I had to learn to walk again. Like, my only goal was learning to walk again. But man, do I tell you, whenever I finally did walk again, I could make a mean fried rice. Walk. It's a really dumb joke. You gotta stay on your toes. I can't. Thank you for the pity clap, man, in the Adidas hat. I need it. I need it bad. I like to go hunting. As I said, I'm from West Virginia, big deer hunting state. But a lot of people have a problem with the idea of hunting. They have a problem with the idea of shooting animals. And I get that. But those people don't understand the atrocities happening in the deer community. So let me learn you guys something. There's 3 main types of deer in North America. The first one is the mule deer. It's kind of a neutral deer. But then there's the black and the white-tailed deer. And the black-tailed deer are all located in the Pacific Northwest, mainly in Alaska. And then the white-tailed deer are everywhere else. They're coast to coast, they dominate. They're the ones we have in West Virginia. They're the ones you guys have here in PA. They shit in your yards, jump out in front of your cars. But most importantly, the white-tailed deer are completely segregated from the black-tailed deer, and I think it's fucked up. Like, I thought mammals realized segregation was bad 60 years ago, but you confront these white-tailed deer about it, and they have the nerve to give you a deer in the headlights look. And there's this philosophy in hunting that you pass on smaller bucks so they can get bigger, they'll bear more meat and bear more children. I disagree with that philosophy for the previous reason. Like, the saddest part in the movie Bambi for a long time was the fact that Bambi's mother died. Turns out the saddest part in that movie is that Bambi didn't get shot. That racist fuck. Cool. When I was 13, I went to Michigan at Penn State football game. we knew some of the coaches from Michigan, and they gave me a bunch of Michigan gear. And I went to the bathroom, and on my way back, some drunk Penn State fan spit on me, which sucked, but definitely not the worst thing to happen to a kid at that stadium. Yeah, I know. I got them hook, line, and sinker right now. They like rape jokes. Let's go for another one. I read a book called Born Standing Up. It was Steve Martin's book. And in there, he quotes a comic that gave him some advice that told him, whenever you're having a rough set, what you should do is try to make the waitresses laugh, which is a great philosophy. But unfortunately, the comic that gave him that advice was Bill Cosby. And if the waitresses didn't laugh, they got drugged and raped. Okay, 2 for 2 on rape jokes. Let's go for a third. There was a terrible story out of Philadelphia about 3 months ago. She says she loves it. Jesus. Okay. She's not paying attention. Shout out the bartender. Terrible story out of Philadelphia, though, where a black man raped a woman on a train while everyone stood around and watched. I'm assuming he's black. Not because I think black guys are any more likely to rape a woman than a white man is, but I've seen a fair share of cuckold porn, and it's never been guy with giant black dick stands around and watches white guy run train. Okay. Hey, I got one guy. What else the fuck do I have? I like to go fishing. I realize that fishing is a lot like dating apps because I think it's all about what you use. But my dad would disagree with me. He would say that the only thing that matters when you fish is patience. And I try to be patient when I'm on dating apps. I'll be on them for hours just swiping away. But somehow at the end of the day, I always end up with my own hook in my hand. Masturbation joke didn't go over well. I ran out of rape jokes. So. Okay. I have a friend that wrote a screenplay, and he decided that he was going to direct the movie himself. And while directing the movie, my friend Morgan started to go blind, and nobody knew what was wrong with him, so he had to go see a doctor. And after many tests over multiple days and many, many hours, the doctor finally came to me with the conclusion. He said, "Sean, your director friend, he's developing a film in his eyes." I'll take it. What else could I do right now? It's getting hot outside. It makes me think a lot about the hottest continent, Africa. Like, Africa's the only continent, when you look at it on a map, looks like side boob. Like, on a 1 to 10 scale of hotness, Africa is a LA 1, a Pittsburgh 4, and a map 10. To give you guys like a range there, America is like a map 2, but I'd fuck it anyways because I'm a patriot. Hot stuff. I don't know if you guys can tell by looking at me, but I'm an athlete. I'm a runner. But I don't want to go running in the park at night because I don't want people to see me run. But there's only 2 types of people you run into the park at night, and the first one's a dark, shadowy figure, and you're just thinking at any moment this person's going to stab you in the back. But I love that shadowy figure because he makes me run faster, and he also gives me a reason to carry a knife. And then the second person is a middle-aged woman that's also running in the park at night for the same reason I am. And she'll look at me, and then I'll look at her, and then she'll look at the knife in my hand, and I realize I'm the first guy, and this woman thinks I'm about to stab her. And when I was younger, anytime my parents would argue, my dad would pull me to the side afterwards and say, Sean, the one thing you need to remember is that women are always right. So I stabbed that bitch 42 times. She was dead after the 5th time. You love the fucked up ones. Too bad on them. So I stabbed her 42 times. She was dead after the 5th one. This isn't the first time this has happened, but what I'm really trying to say is I'm a serial killer. I'm here to promote my Netflix special. I haven't been in contact with them, but I have a feeling they'll pick it up when the word gets out. Take it. You love the ad-libs. Besides a comedian, I'm an avid lover of koala bears. Like, I have a goal in life to one day marry a koala bear. And if you guys find that disgusting, it's because you haven't realized how cute they are. Some fun facts about koala bears. They have 4 opposable thumbs, 2 on each hand, and they have no natural predators because they spend every waking moment of their life eating eucalyptus leaves, which are poisonous to everything. They're even poisonous to the koala bears. And the only reason they don't get poisoned by them is because when they're babies in their mother pouches, their mom will feed them her feces, which will act as a catalyst to produce a bacteria that breaks down the poison in their adult life. My love for koala bears is why I'm going to run for president in 2032. On the stance that I don't think baby koalas should have to eat their mother's shit anymore. And instead, we will issue them government 9mm pistols to defend themselves. I love you, Wolfie. Following these actions, we will train them to overthrow the Australian government so they can take back the land that was once theirs. And then, if the Chilean supreme leader has a problem with my authority, we will poison him with the same eucalyptus oil as his forefathers once loved, instilling a new leader that allows me a vacation there when I want. I'm going for it. Why not? My name's Sean Bishop. I have a goal in life to be the most famous Sean Bishop, which is fortunate because there's not many of us. Like, if you think about it, in 1981, the 2nd overall draft pick in the NBA draft was a guy by the name of Isaiah Thomas. And then in 1989, a woman in Washington State decided to name her son after him. And that Isaiah Thomas grew up to be one of the greatest point guards in NBA history. How fortunate am I that they weren't named Sean Bishop, because my dream would have ended the moment I got cut from the 6th grade basketball team. Luckily for me, I just have to be more famous than actor Sean Bishop. Exactly. Who the fuck's that guy? Turns out actor Sean Bishop was famous for one movie role where he played the eldest son to the main character in the 1977 classic Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Which means right now, as a struggling comic, I'm the 2nd most famous Sean Bishop, right behind a guy that's been out of work for 45 years. Thank you. Like, if you guys can leave here tonight and remember that I'm Sean Bishop, I would be the most famous Sean Bishop, right in front of a guy that can only assume is a homeless man on the streets of Hollywood that once played a secondary character in a movie about communicating with aliens. And I hate alien movies, because they're always about how do we communicate with the aliens. That's not what we should be worried about, guys. We should be worried, can the aliens communicate with spiders? Because if the aliens just show up and decide to wipe out the human race, they're a bunch of racists. But they can speak spider, turns out I'm the racist. I don't know if you guys have heard of this Hitler fella, but let me drop some numbers on you. He's famous for this thing called the Holocaust, where he killed 66% of the Jews in Europe. I gave you a Hitler statistic and you laughed. I've killed 100% of the spiders I've ever fucking seen. which means if the aliens can communicate with spiders, it turns out I'm the dickhead in every alien history book that tried to wipe an entire species off of this planet. But if a spider genocide makes me the next Hitler, I'll own it. I'll vow to kill every last one of those 8-legged fucks. Because every single person in here knew who Hitler was. Not damn one of you knew who actor Sean Bishop was, and I played to win. So yeah, I got him on my side. I'm just gonna fucking call it there. I'm Sean Bishop, guys. Have a good fucking night.
This is hilarious, bro. Like, I was worried your mom and dad were here, and you're like fucking off the hook. Let's have a round of applause for Sean Bishop.